2, 1. All right, welcome back to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton, Big E here. Pleased to be joined by two very special guests, Chase Fraser and Jeremy Pope. Boys, how's it going? What's happening?
Fantastic. Doing good.
Chase, what's going on with you, man? What's happening? What's new? What's
Not much. Canucks game Sunday, men's league game Monday.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll talk to my brother about jerseys, by the way.
You saw that, hey?
Yeah, I did see that. I just saw that late yesterday, and he was gone. So pretty much it didn't really work out. But I'll text him. So boys, we're gonna be talking some hockey. Like Jeremy said, or Chase said, we went to the game on Sunday. We ran into each other in a 300 level at Rogers Arena. It seems like everybody was at that game. One of my other buddies was at that game. Someone else I know posted on their story they were at the Canucks game. So, happened to play Sunday night, Stars Canucks. Yeah. Jeremy, I'll let you go first. Kind of introduce yourself and what you got going on.
Not much. I was also, like Ian said, at the Canucks game on Sunday. I'm also playing some men's league, ripping it up. Had a goal last night.
Ooh.
Breakaway goal, first ever breakaway goal, and I scored. So 100% on breakaways. Yeah, not a lot. Work, just working construction like job, delivering stuff. Nothing fancy.
Real tradesman.
Oh yeah, and just a huge hockey fanatic. Just love hockey.
Don't we all? Chase, what's new with you? What do you got going on in your life right now?
Same thing as him. He took me to the game Sunday, play on the same men's league team, work the same job.
Nice.
We twins.
Kind of bold of you to wear a Giants hoodie on this podcast, but whatever. I don't care.
Best team in the league.
Are you going to the? I should see if I can get you to come for the November 19th game when the Silvertips are in Langley to watch the Giants. So. We'll see if we can make that work. We'll have to. All right. Let's talk about some NHL headlines first. We are almost about a month into the season already. I don't understand. I don't have any concept of time or day or anything anymore. What's your guys' favorite storyline so far early this season? Jeremy, I'll start with you. What's your favorite storyline?
I'm liking how at the beginning, early, all the teams that were going undefeated. That was pretty wicked. I think there was like 4 teams that started 5-0, and it was the first time that had happened. And then a few teams continued it, like Carolina and Florida. They got up. I know Carolina got to 9-0. I think Florida was like 9-0-1. Just lots of winning happening.
Lots of W's.
Yeah.
Chase, do you got a favorite storyline or something that you're really liking so far early on this year?
I gotta go with Ovechkin. Signs that massive contract this season or in the off season. What was it? 5 years. Do you know exactly what it was?
I'll pull up Cap Friendly. You guys can stall. I'll pull it up on Cap Friendly.
Ovechkin, man. Fine wine.
He is.
He could have signed a 15-year deal. Would have been fine.
Well, not under Gary Bettman's NHL about signing long-term deals. But 5 years, $47.5 million. So 9.5 over the next 5 years.
So he signs a 5-year, $9.5 million deal at 36 years old. That expires at 41, and I think he's leading the league in goals and is third in points right now.
He's pretty good.
He is. And I know like lots of people were doubting him. I think he breaks Gretzky's goal record.
It's kind of a dick move to say if he isn't going to break it, right? Like that's kind of an asshole, thing to say. It's like, no, I don't think so. It's like, well, you're kind of just a curmudgeon, aren't you? You don't really want this guy to succeed.
I know. Kind of rude. Like, I hope he does it, but at the same time, I hope he doesn't do it just because, Gretzky's Canadian.
Oh, we're playing that card, are we? We're hoping the Canadians get.
We got into it actually in the World Juniors. Do you remember that?
Sort of, vaguely. I just remember the Americans winning. That's all I really remember from the World Juniors.
I mean, there's a first for everything, eh?
it felt like a long time. I think it was 10 years, like between US winning gold at the World Juniors, which honestly, sounds about right. But it was that barrel that pushed the US, junior team over. It was the barrel. They conquered it.
Barrel or a garbage can?
They said barrel, man. They said
Oh.
barrel. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you guys think is an underrated storyline so far that more people should be talking about?
That's a hard one. I think more people should be talking about the Sharks. I think they're off to a pretty good start, and they don't really have any I don't know. Everyone doubted them going into the season. I mean, I don't know if they doubted them, but just as a bottom tier team, everyone was kind of placing them in there, and they're killing it in the Pacific. I mean, definitely the easiest division, but they're motoring along.
I definitely had them in the bottom tier, and my underrated storyline was just the California teams in general, who all have winning points percentage. Mm-hmm. So they're not the worst teams. They're all better than Vegas as we record this on Tuesday. Chase, what's an underrated storyline for you this year so far?
Good question. I mean, you could talk about Troy Terry.
Ooh.
Another California guy. Well,
Scott's gonna love that.
Yeah, Scott's really gonna like that.
No, he's above a point per game right now, I think, on
11-game point streak
as well.
I mean, yeah, Scott's really going to come on here on Thursday and then talk about how great Terry and the Ducks are this year. Yeah. So it's a good thing that you're stroking that ego. But actually, Troy Terry's actually a good player. The Ducks do actually have some good players. They're not 6-4-1 by mistake or.
No,
I don't think they keep that up.
6-4-3, but yeah, they probably aren't. I mean, I think everybody's just assuming that Vegas is just going to get their shit together at some point and then just start steamrolling the rest of those teams. But early on, at least the first months of the year, Anaheim's in a playoff spot thanks to guys like Troy Terry.
Yeah.
Was he a first parts on that team too, though? I think, does Comtois have a point yet? I'm not sure if he does.
Scott would know.
Low start, and they're still going. Zegras is a beauty.
Zegras is good.
Yeah.
Kevin Shattenkirk has the second most points on the Ducks this season, like we all predicted.
He's up there he was leading all NHL defensemen for a while.
Yeah, because we all think of, when we think of savvy offensive defensemen in the NHL, Kevin Shattenkirk, first guy that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Just leading the way.
I agree.
Overrated team or player through the first month of the year?
Calgary.
Okay, why do you think Calgary?
Yeah, I'm asking the same question.
Why do you think Calgary?
I think the only reason they're winning games right now is Markstrom. He's got 4 shutouts in 9 games. They did destroy the Rangers, but I don't think they have a good team.
Yikes.
I don't know. Here's the problem with Calgary. Listen, I wasn't expecting them to be this good.
Yeah.
But it does feel like if things go south in a hurry, they're going to be major sellers at the deadline. And then we're just going to start over again with the Flames.
Yeah. No, if I was the general manager, that's the direction I would go in. I don't see Gaudreau as a superstar anymore. Lindholm is a nice player. I mean, obviously Kachuk, but other than that, it's
hey, Sean Monahan's respectable.
Yeah, he is, but I don't know. Yeah, I just don't see them as a playoff caliber team minus Markstrom.
Okay, all right, I'll accept that. Jeremy, overrated team player for you?
I got 3 teams, I think,
Ooh.
sort of in the same overrated category here. I got these guys right here.
I just said they were good the other day when we watched the game. I just officially qualified them as good. Come on now.
More the team I was talking about. I think personally, I thought that they were going to maybe finish 2nd, 3rd in the Pacific behind Vegas. And right now they're currently sitting in 7th out of 8th. And that's for the team they have, they should be pretty good, I think. So I think the team is a little overrated. Hughes and Pedersen are getting back on the right track for sure. But I think maybe the most overrated team coming into the season would have been Chicago.
Yeah, they really suck, don't they?
Oh,
Yeah, horrible. I mean, the Canucks beat them, so that's saying something.
That whole organization right now.
Yeah, that whole thing's a mess. Scott and I are going to dive into it a little bit more on Thursday, but just giving you like the Reader's Digest version of it. Not good.
Not at all. I think Seth Jones is very overrated too. They were expecting him to be some sort of savior, I think, for the team. Just not there.
He's struggling. He has not looked good. Getting $9.5 million.
Nope.
But you know, that contract at least doesn't kick in till next season, so they don't have to worry about it until then.
Yeah, 1 year older.
Yeah.
Of course, Montreal too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Montreal's also no good. Price is back within the team now, but I don't think he's practicing yet as of Tuesday. I can search this up and figure it out. Not totally sure.
They played 13 games and they've won 3. 3-10 is their record, and that's
Wow.
Okay, but also they weren't that good last year.
I agree. I do agree. I mean, of course they went to the finals, right? So they definitely pushed somewhere in there, but like they're last place in their division. I think people didn't think they were going to be last place.
No, I think most people thought they would miss the playoffs, but not last.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
Is there any news on Shea Weber yet?
I don't know if Weber's not playing this season. I don't know if he's going to be playing again.
Like he might be forced to retire, which would be.
There's a good chance that could happen. I'm going to say slightly overrated. This might come as a hot take. Slightly overrated are the Edmonton Oilers. Here's the thing. They're 9-1 as we record this, just about to play the Red Wings. The offense is great, but like Mikko Koskinen's their best goalie right now. That's a bit tough. I don't think their defense is that great either. Duncan Keith, not a spring chicken. He's got worked a few times.
He has.
Tyler Myers, and that's saying something.
Yeah, exactly. McDavid and Draisaitl are just carrying the team, which I think is good for maybe, the regular season might get you, into the playoffs in the regular season, but come to playoff time, I don't see it happening. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought the Oilers were going to miss the playoffs because of their defensive goaltending. And right now I look like an idiot, but I do think this team is overrated and not as good as we think.
I agree with you on that one for sure.
I think McDavid and Draisaitl carry that team. Their top 6 though is very nice. Obviously McDavid, Draisaitl, Yamamoto, although he's kind of having a rough start. And then
I was gonna say Zach Hyman's like cool, except that contract maybe isn't gonna be great, but he's good now.
Yeah, Puljujarvi.
Puljujarvi, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing nice. And then obviously Nugent Hopkins. He's got the most assists in the league right now.
Burnaby boy, Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Yeah.
Love to see it. All right. That's kind of our headlines discussion here. Let's talk about each division here. We'll do a little bit of we'll do a medium dive into each division. So let's go through the Pacific first. So as we record this, Edmonton's in first, Calgary's second, Anaheim's third, San Jose's fourth, LA, Vegas, Vancouver, Seattle round out the division. Biggest surprise in that division, I'm going to say it's Seattle being in last place. I thought Seattle would be better, but that's just me. I don't know what you guys think is the biggest surprise in the Pacific.
I thought Seattle would be a lot better too.
Honestly, I didn't think so.
Really?
I didn't think they were going to be good. I feel like I kind of listened to all the people too that were like, oh, Grubauer is nothing without the awesome team in front of him. And I mean, they're starting to sound right, maybe. I mean, he's definitely a good goalie, but maybe not as good as everyone thought he was.
Their defense is not bad. I don't think their defense is the issue. It's just they need to score a bit more. And scoring is tough to come by when Brandon Tanev, Jordan Eberle, Yanni Gord are your best forwards. It's a little bit tough in that regard. So that's what I'm a little bit surprised about Seattle. Any other big surprises or, you
have to go with Vegas, no?
Vegas, yeah, I think that's fair.
Like, I mean, they made the playoffs every single year, conference finals, what, 3 times? 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Once, first round exit once. Won the Pacific last year, second in the league. And
conference, yeah.
They come in this season and they're 6-6.
It's still early on. They can still pull it together.
I think they'll pull it together. I think they will. I was surprised by their start as well. I think I'm also surprised at Edmonton's start, though. I didn't think they were going to be that good. And same sort of with Calgary. Like, both those teams are my surprise for 1 and 2.
I think if you told me that Vegas would be first and Edmonton would be 6th, I'd find that more believable than if it was like how it is now.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
It's weird looking at it, and like you said, all California teams are 3, 4, and 5. Where realistically, I thought they'd be more 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I thought the Kings would be like a fringe playoff team. Actually, I think I had them making like top 4 in the West. Anaheim and San Jose, I had them near the bottom, kind of like replacing like kind of where Vancouver, Seattle is now. But it's early on. It's early in the year.
It is.
So we'll throw it over to the Central for a little bit here. This features the not so great Arizona Coyotes, the very not good Chicago Blackhawks. Colorado also like lower in the standings than I think most people thought, but it's kind of a top heavy team as well.
Yeah.
Well,
start for Colorado for sure. I think this division is so weird in the fact that like Minnesota, St. Louis, Winnipeg, Nashville, Dallas, and Colorado are almost like all sort of the same caliber. They're like, I think they're like they're all very close in how good they are. I mean, maybe Dallas and Nashville, not as much as the others, but like, it's definitely a close division for sure.
I'm really impressed with St. Louis. I mean, Minnesota is I think overachieving a little bit. St. Louis, though, I think St. Louis right now looks like the team to beat in that division.
Yeah.
I mean, unless like you're really high on Kaprizov, which I am, but I think as a team, I think St. Louis is tougher to face.
I am surprised by their start. I was looking at a photo of the roster and I was going through it. I'm like, Brandon Saad's on the team and like Mike Hoffman. I'm like, oh, all these guys are washed. They're going to be like, it was a good team in maybe 2015, but they're proving everybody wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also depends with the Blues on like your opinion on them as how you feel about Jordan Binnington.
I absolutely hate him. I absolutely hate him.
You see his clip the other night when he's swinging his stick at Audrey?
I found it funny. Listen, I just thought it was funny. Like, it's totally reckless, and like he definitely needed to get a misconduct for that because you can't have that. But the fact that he did it, I thought was really funny.
Do you ever listen to Spittin' Chicklets?
No, I don't.
I listened to his, like he was on that
Yeah.
podcast, obviously. And he actually seems like a funny guy. Like the stories and stuff he was telling, he actually seems like a nice, funny guy. But then on the ice, I'm just like, this guy is a melon.
He's like almost the closest thing to like a WWE wrestler that we have in terms of like doing like theatrical stuff like swinging a stick while at the same time trying to take on a fight wherever he can get it.
So
or
often.
the Sharks, we like fake punched.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's got a bit of a temper, I think.
Oh, probably like every goalie's got a bit of a temper.
That's true.
So
Who do you guys think the playoff teams are going to be for the Central Division?
I think
Chicago, Nashville, and Winnipeg.
I think Colorado figures it out. I'm gonna say Nashville falls out. Dallas is not a playoff team. I don't think the Stars are gonna make the playoffs, but I will say Colorado. It's Colorado, Winnipeg, St. Louis, Minnesota in some order. I think are gonna be the teams that make the playoffs.
Yeah, do you think only 3 make it from the Pacific?
No, I think at the beginning of the year, I mean, now it's a little bit different, but I think before I had like LA, Seattle, Vancouver, Vegas making it. So I don't know what to expect now. I think it's gonna be 4-4. I think it'll be 4-4, probably an even split.
I agree with your Central, Ian. Like,
thank you.
I think Dallas will win the cup, but
Really?
no, I'm just a biased fan.
Dallas did not look great the other night when we saw them. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They looked good for like the first like 10 minutes. Like when they were winning 1-0, was it after one period?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Demko made that first ridiculous stop.
Yeah, he owns Jamie Benn now.
Pretty much. And then they just lost the momentum after that. But I don't think the Stars. Listen, I thought the Stars were frauds making the cup 2 years ago.
Oh.
Last year was obviously like there was a whole bunch of shit going on with the like external things like COVID and the storm and whatever in Texas that obviously if anybody got a freebie last year, it was the Stars just because of how things went. This year, I don't think they're really that good.
Yeah, I just wish you were wrong, but I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I do agree. They're top players now, like Jamie Benn, Sagan. I mean, they're on the back 9 of their career.
Sagan's only 29 too, which is interesting.
Really?
Like I'm pretty sure I saw it. I saw that.
Well, yeah, because he won the cup in 2011 with Boston, right? And he was a rookie that year.
Yeah, he's only 29 years old.
Wow. How old's Jamie Benn?
I think he's 31. Jamie's a little bit older. But I saw that with Sagan the other day, and it's just like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Ben's 32.
Yeah, so Sagan's kind of in his prime, but I mean, Jamie Benn he's fallen off.
Not the guy he once was.
Yeah, but I mean,
Art Ross winner anymore.
I love Heiskanen. I think Miro is sick.
He listen, Dallas actually has like some good pieces. Like Heiskanen's good. Klingberg's been a bit slow to start this year, but I think Klingberg's actually like pretty good. Lindell, I think is good.
Yeah.
They have some pieces.
Thomas Harley's coming up. He played the other night.
Harley, yeah, like they have some guys. They're kind of married to this Pavelski, Ben, Sagan core that I don't think is. I mean, Pavelski's the best forward on the Stars.
Yeah.
Which in 2021, it's not that great.
Definitely not who you want as your top. top scorer on your team.
Not ideal. Speaking of, well, this division is actually ideal, but trying to make a transition didn't work. Let's talk about the Metro. The Metro is actually like a really fun division. Every team is above 500 points percentage wise, so every team is good, I think. Where do we start with the Metro?
Let's start down at 8th place.
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah. I think they're in 8th in their division, but I think they have been very impressive.
Okay.
Like, you look at their team, since I've been alive, pretty much, it's been Crosby and Malkin on that team. And they haven't had them this year. I mean, I think Crosby played one game or whatever now, but they had some guys just like come out of nowhere. This Drew O'Connor, who I don't know if he's still leading the team in points, but he was at one point.
Mm-hmm.
He was an undrafted player. He seemed to light it up in the first bit, kind of got them on track without the top guns. So I thought that was pretty impressive. A few other guys too, like not household names.
Yeah, no, well, that's just the Penguins, right? They like whenever like Crosby or Malkin or Letang can't play, it's like, Sammy Johnson or some no-name or from the University of Wisconsin who comes up to play for them and he scores like 3 points in 5 games. You never heard of him, but he's still pretty good. And it's just like, where the hell is Pittsburgh getting all these players from? Who's playing for Wilkes-Barre Scranton right now that I don't know?
Maybe it's Sullivan.
Maybe it is.
Could be.
Here, hold on a second. The Penguins just have a bunch of no-namers. It might be Sullivan, but they just find like guys off the street, some no-namers you never heard of, and they're putting up points like on a regular basis. Like, I don't know why it happens.
Yeah. Jeremy, you were telling me the other day it was the first time in 20 some odd years or 25 years that on opening night, neither Lemieux, Yager, Crosby, or Malkin were in the starting lineup or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much something like that. It was like 22 years or something. They had one of those players in the starting lineup.
Or Fleury too, like even like Fleury for the longest time on Pittsburgh too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird. I mean, you have the Devils who, I don't know if the Devils are actually good. I think Jack Hughes is good.
They're like borderline in, like they're right in the middle for me.
I don't think they make playoffs this year. I don't think this year is their year. I think maybe next year they'll have a good team. I think I was a bit shocked when I saw Dougie Hamilton landed there.
Me too, actually.
I mean, maybe he's their guy. Maybe he's going to get the team going.
It's kind of that thing that we're seeing now of like Panarin went to the Rangers when the Rangers weren't great, but it's like the team like, hey, we'll pay you a bunch of money. We're not going to be good for like the first year or two, but by like years 3, 4, and 5, when you're still in your prime and we're going to be good, then we're going to kick some ass.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think the Hamilton move is. I don't know if the Devils are going to be good in 2 or 3 years. Like, as much as I like Jonathan Bernier and Mackenzie Blackwood, I don't know if either one of those guys are really true number one options.
I think Blackwood's got potential to be a number one.
Yeah. How old is he now?
He's young.
He's still young. He's still got some time to be good.
I love
24. Okay. He's 24. So there's time.
I love the Hughes brothers.
I do too.
I think all 3 of them are nasty. And Holtz is lighting it up right now. He had like 5 goals in 3 games in the A.
Well, the biggest question when you mention the Hughes brothers and the Devils is, when is Quinn going to go to Vancouver? Like that?
Never, buddy. Never.
No. You kind of have to mention it. You kind of have to bring it up, when you're discussing Hughes brothers, the Devils.
I'm not going to lie. I could see it happening. I don't think it'll happen when he's in his prime and stuff. But maybe later in his career, like he just signed that How long is this deal?
6 years, I think.
Yeah.
Petey got 3. Hughes got 6.
Yeah. So I don't see it happening after his 6-year deal is up. But I do. I mean, if my two brothers are playing in the NHL in Tampa Bay, I mean, I'm thinking about going to Tampa Bay as well.
Oh, so you're that guy. Like, it's
I
not even
mean,
just the fact of playing for your brothers. It's just like, hey, if I get the opportunity to play with my brothers who are also on the back-to-back cup-winning team, then yeah, I'm probably gonna do it. Like, yeah, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't
Yeah.
we all take that chance?
But maybe Jack and Luke come to Vancouver.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that. That's a little much. My team, the Islanders, they're kind of one of my bandwagon teams. They haven't played a home game yet this year, but they're still 5-3-2 without playing a home game.
That's impressive.
So they're still good. Columbus is 7-3, which is weird.
Patrick Laine, baby.
The Laine effect or the we just got rid of Torts effect?
That's a tough one. Definitely Torts, but Laine is still a good player. Definitely still a good player.
I really do. I really like Laine. Like I've always been like a bit of a Laine guy. I kind of got why Winnipeg got rid of him, but at the same time, it's kind of like he's one of the best scorers in the game, and you need goals to win.
I think Columbus easily wins that trade.
Because they also got Roslovic too, right?
Yeah. If it was 1-for-1, it'd be debatable, but like you add Roslovic. I mean, I've heard people talk about him and like he's kind of just got so much skill and just hasn't really put it all together yet. But I've heard from a couple sources that he's just like super skilled.
Sources. Wow.
Yeah. Unnamed
Sources. Wow. Okay, Drager. Way to go. Yeah, I was gonna say, Jeremy, coming on the pod, mentioning unnamed sources. Wow, okay. You got yourself a bit of a big deal here. I mean, people who wear manners hats are, pretty big deals. I'll just say that much.
I agree.
You're not the Kenworth?
They're also big deals. All right. Guys who wear hats are big deals. Philadelphia getting back into the standings. Philadelphia 6-2-2. Carter Hart's good.
Sometimes.
No, don't let that fake news media.
He's an Everett guy.
I heard from unnamed sources that he's not playing that well this year.
No. Don't let that fake news media tell you that Carter Hart isn't good. I'm here to tell you he is.
He was my Vezina pick for last year.
Well, that didn't work out well, did it?
No. I do have a fact about the Philadelphia Flyers that I'm going to share, though.
What's your fact on the Flyers?
They will make the playoffs.
Because it's an even year?
Yeah. It's just it's been like the last 12 years or something. Every other year they make it.
That seems about right. See, the problem I have with the Metro is like trying to figure out where the Islanders get in here, because I had the Islanders being one of the top 4 teams again this year. And it's like, okay, so let's say, they need to go on a run here to make the playoffs. Who misses the playoffs? Or unless they get, 5 Metro teams and no Atlantic teams, which is also a possibility. But I'm thinking that maybe Washington or the Rangers miss out on the playoffs, so the Islanders get in.
Yeah, I think the Rangers are overrated.
The Rangers?
I mean, looking at the teams right now, it's like 6 of those 8 teams I could see being in playoff contention. Hurricanes obviously easy make it.
They should.
The Rangers and Capitals, those are the two that I think they could either miss or make it. You know what I mean? Same with Pittsburgh, and I think the Islanders will pull it together, and they'll be a top team in that division.
I agree with the Islanders for sure. I mean, they're 5-3-2 and haven't even played at home. They've been on the road the whole time. They still got 3 more games on the road too, I think.
Yeah, they're not home for like another week and a half.
Yeah.
And Varlamov is injured. I mean, Sorokin is really good, but I think it'll help if those two split the games.
I don't know.
I think Carolina and New York are a lock.
Okay.
Islanders, that is. Islanders.
Islanders are a lock.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Defense wins championships.
I'm still, the Islanders are still my team. I'm gonna say that they make the playoff. I'm just curious to see who falls off or who misses out as a result. Let's throw it over to Atlantic. We got one more division here that we're gonna recap. Florida Panthers look really good. Everyone else in that division, not so great. Who's the second best? I mean, I know Toronto has 15 points, but like, who's the second best team do we think behind Florida in this division? Tampa Bay?
100%.
Yeah, I think Tampa.
I think you could still argue that they're the best team in that division.
Okay.
They definitely haven't. I mean, through the first month, they haven't showed it, obviously, but that team's unreal. Like,
yeah, skill-wise, I think based on pure skill, they have the best team in that division.
All right.
But
Florida is definitely a wagon, though. They are cooking.
Sergei Bobrovsky is back, baby.
Apparently.
I'd hope so for $10 million.
He is legit. He totally thought that was going to happen. That old Bobrovsky would be coming back. I'll say that Tampa Bay is. I mean, they're probably the best team in that division still. Like if they played Florida in a 7-game series, I'm thinking Tampa Bay will probably win, but I think the Leafs might actually be okay.
I think they just got back on their horse. Like they've gotten very good in the last couple of games. I saw a tweet again. I don't remember who it's from. I don't remember these sources.
Unnamed source.
But it was their last 10 goals, and they were all from Marner's, Matthew, and
Nylander,
and maybe a couple from Nylander too. And like those guys are just cooking now. After all 4 of them had a slow start.
I mean, I don't know. Their defense concerns me. Even with Hull getting healthy scratch, I don't know if you put them into the lineup if it makes much of a difference. Goaltending, I think Campbell's a good enough regular season goalie. I don't know if he's a goalie that can really take you on a run.
I think part of that too is the chemistry that all those guys have with, all those guys just love Campbell.
Yeah.
I haven't finished the All or Nothing documentary, but all those guys just love playing in front of him. And I think that has to do a bit with his success right now. But
I haven't watched the All or Nothing, so I have no idea what it's like. But it seems like they all really like Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's a bit overrated. He definitely played insane last year. Nobody can take that away from him, obviously. I think, he won 15 games in a row, didn't he, or something?
To start the year, I think it was something he won his first 15 starts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely good. A good goalie. But I don't know, maybe he really truly found his stride, but if you're going off his past as well, he's definitely not I wouldn't really consider him a starter. I don't know if I just have trouble accepting that he's now a starter on a good team, but like through the past, like
He's bounced around. Like he started in Dallas, then he went to LA, and now he's like finally figured it out. I think he's good. I'm gonna say he's good. Would you rather have him or Carter Hart?
I think I go Carter Hart.
I would too, just for the age probably, but
Okay. All right. Detroit also good. I'm here to confirm that the Red Wings they're at least fun. Like at least with Seider and Raymond, they're at least fun.
yeah, I totally agree with that for sure.
Like those guys at least make it less painful to watch the Red Wings on a regular basis. So
they're so good.
So good. Dylan Larkin's good. Troy Stetcher's been getting healthy scratch, which is like slightly weird because this is also a defense core that includes Mark Stahl and Danny DeKeyser, and Stetcher's not getting time over those guys, so that's a little bit weird.
Canucks should have won that game.
Okay, well, all right.
We're talking like 4 weeks ago now here.
Yeah,
I'm upset about it.
I am.
That just shows how passionate you are. If you're still upset about a game 4 weeks ago, it's like bullshit. No.
Grace just stood on his head, but that's beside the point.
Bryce and Nedeljkovic are actually like doing pretty well this year for the Red Wings, so that's cool.
Great duo. That's a super good duo.
You like to see that, and then Buffalo the Sabres are fine. They're okay.
Wait, Ian, I'm surprised you just talked about the Red Wings and you didn't even mention anything about Bertuzzi.
Well, there's not a lot to mention. I mean, he's unvaccinated, but he's
I mean, like this season, he's just been playing unreal.
Well, it's not part of it is like it's not really a surprise. It's just he's been injured, right? Like he's been trying to like be healthy for like the last 18 months. And now that he's actually probably not getting vaccinated has just improved his overall by 5, I'm sure. That's how that works. Everybody else is slow except for McDavid, but Bertuzzi's unvaccinated, so he's just outperforming everybody. But no, I part of it with Bertuzzi, it's just he's finally healthy. Him, Vrana, and Larkin on the same line really works. Like it makes a lot of sense considering Larkin's a good balanced center. Vrana's got speed. Bertuzzi's got the physicality. It makes sense as a line. It's pretty balanced. So will it last? I don't know. He could be somebody who, if the Red Wings go back to being shit, he could get traded at the deadline. I wouldn't be surprised. Remember last year when they traded Mantha at the deadline and they got Vrana and a first back. So
I liked that trade, actually.
It was a great deal. I wasn't expecting it, and yet I'm totally cool with it.
Vrana, I think, is a nice addition, and they also got that extra first. They took Kosa, right? With that pick?
I can't remember. That sounds right.
Ahead of Wallstead.
Yeah, they took Costa ahead of Wallstead. Because now he's just killing it with the Edmonton Oil Kings in the WHL. Like
never doubt Stevie Y.
In Yzerman we trust.
Yeah.
Sabres, okay, fine.
I mean, I guess so.
I mean, they're definitely not a good team, but I think it's just sick that they're doing what they're doing.
They're literally the epitome of 500. They're 5-5-2 with a goal differential of 0. They've scored 36. They've given up 36.
They're on a 5-game losing streak, though. Did they start?
I guess they've had their time.
Yeah.
So they peaked, is what you're saying. The Sabres peaked too early.
They peaked in the first.
I think it's possible, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm willing to go with that. The Bruins, they're interesting. They don't score a lot, but they don't give up a lot of goals either.
I agree. I hate the Bruins. Canucks fan.
Really?
Just not a fan of them. But as much as I hate to say it, I do see them making the playoffs. Just their team is nice. Except losing Krejci sucks. That's a very good second line center.
Krejci and Rask too. Like, not to say that like Olmark's bad or Jeremy Swayman is bad, but like losing Rask kind of stinks.
Yeah.
From a core perspective. Ottawa, we talked about Montreal a little bit. Ottawa, not good. Montreal, not good.
I love Ottawa's team though.
I like their pieces. I just wish
Yeah.
they could actually put it together.
Exactly. They're young though.
They don't have a goalie, hey? Like
Matt Murray's not really the answer, is what you're saying.
He'd probably be better out of the net than in the net.
They did make a trade a few years back for, I think, Philip Gustafson.
Yeah, Gustafson is their backup, I think.
I think the Pens drafted him, and he was a second-round pick, and he just hasn't really panned out. He got sent down the other day, I think.
Well, they had it's weird because it sent like a bunch of goalie guys. Like they had Murray last year, they had Gustafson, Anton Forsberg, Joy Decord, who was taken by the Kraken. I don't know. They'll if they want to be good, I'm sure they'll have to find a new goalie because I don't think it's really working with Murray.
Yeah.
But fortunately, they got like the most cap space of any team, so they'll find a goalie, I'm sure.
Pay someone. Free agency.
Take Bobrovsky's contract off Florida.
I think they do fine with Spencer Knight.
That could be interesting, actually. If they were to pick up Bobrovsky for that $10 million, they could possibly get assets on top of that.
I don't know. I think Bobrovsky probably has some sort of trade, modified trade clause or whatever that he'd have to agree to go to Ottawa. And you heard it here first on the Speak Your Piece podcast. Florida is not like Ottawa. The Miami lifestyle is not quite the same as Ottawa.
Only going to stay in southern states after all of his time in Ohio.
Probably. He might be the Coyotes goalie literally in a few years.
The one thing that I don't understand about Florida, they signed Bobrovsky for $10 million, and then the next year they draft Spencer Knight with their first round pick.
Yeah, I think that's more just you don't expect Knight to be that good so soon. Like goalie prospects take like 3 years to develop, and Knight's been was drafted through I guess 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you don't expect him to be NHL ready that soon. So I don't.
I mean, look at Demko. He was drafted 2014, and now he's.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it also depends on how you like to draft. I'm more of a proponent of taking the best guy available. And for Florida, I think at that time, Spencer Knight was the best guy available. So you take Knight, and it's kind of worked out. So, all right, we're gonna end it with some awards, maybe a few season predictions, see who makes the playoffs or not. Who wins the Art Ross Trophy?
I think everyone knows the answer to this.
I feel like it's obvious, but is it not McDavid?
Yeah.
I was thinking more Tyler Myers.
Oh, possibly. I wonder if you can bet this on FanDuel, who's again not sponsoring this podcast, but maybe you could do a McDavid versus the field odds for Art Ross.
I think he runs away with it.
100%.
I could see him getting 160 points.
Okay, well, actually, the thing is about this, right? If you look at the standings right now, is Draisaitl's in front of him right now, isn't he?
I think you're right. Here, hold on a second.
22.
Draisaitl is 23. McDavid is 22.
I mean, their power play, they get a goal almost every power play, and it's more than likely they both get a point on it. I wouldn't be insanely shocked if Draisaitl won the Art Ross, but I still do think McDavid will win the Art Ross.
Okay. I think McDavid is projected his scoring rate is he's going to finish with 140 points, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
More
probably. Who wins the Calder? Bonus points if you say a Red Wing.
I was thinking of saying a Red Wing. I was going to say a Red Wing. I think it could be Raymond.
I think it's one or the other of the Red Wings, Seider or Raymond.
Yeah, it feels like either one of those guys. I mean, part of me being the guy who takes the outsider. Part of me kind of wants to say Bowen Byram. He's on Colorado. He won the or no, he didn't win the call. Byram won, or not. Cale Makar won the Calder 2 years ago, so they might be a little bit adverse to giving it to another Avalanche guy a couple years later. Or is it the Norris? No, the Norris. I don't know what year we're living in now. But the point.
So
part of what I'm trying to say is that Byram has a bit of an outside chance, and I kind of would like to see him win because I think he's really good. And I think if Colorado goes on a roll, he could get some credit for that. But it's definitely Raymond and Seider and then everybody else.
Yeah.
Seider looks great. Seider is great offensively and great defensively. He's just an all-around stud.
He's not afraid to mix it up with a few people too, which I like to see.
Yeah. And even Raymond hasn't looked bad defensively either, I've thought.
No, he does a good job of covering his wing.
Yeah.
How
many goals does he have?
Lucas Raymond has
9 games, maybe
6 goals and 14 points.
Yeah. How many games?
Impressive.
Raymond has played, I think he's played in every game this year, 13 games.
Yeah, so
a little over a point per game as a rookie.
What are your thoughts on Cole Caulfield since we're on a little bit of a rookie?
Listen, I think he's good.
Yeah.
I do think he's good. I think it's also not a bad play by Montreal to send him down when the team is kind of dog shit. I'm sure he gives you a better chance to win, but I think also at the same time, your team is going through a lot right now. You don't need to rush Caulfield into being the star guy. I mean, he's getting a lot of hype, so he's going to get the attention anyways, but you don't need to rush him right away.
I agree. I think it was a good move they sent him down. I think he's got to play some bigger hockey before he's fully ready to score 40 like Trevor Zegras said.
Yeah,
he'll go down to Laval or Laval or however you pronounce it, and they'll be a winning team, and he'll play big minutes and develop.
And I think I shouldn't say everyone. I think most reasonable hockey fans and people are going to say, yeah, this guy's probably going to do well in the A this year. Like, would anybody be surprised if he was a point per game player in the A this season? Like, I wouldn't be. Like, I think he's that good that he can be that guy. And, since he's still younger than me, like, there's not really an issue, I think, in trying to just push him. Like, you don't need to expedite his process. Just take your time. There's no rush. When he's ready, he's ready.
Exactly. And Montreal doesn't look like they're making the playoffs this year. So
yeah.
There's really no point in even, like you said, playing him in the NHL.
So, do you guys have a hot take award winner that you're feeling right now?
I would probably I don't know if I would say winner, but I think a finalist for the Vezina could definitely be Thatcher Demko.
Okay. All right. I don't mind that. He's made some ridiculous saves, and if Vancouver again can sneak into the playoffs, that's not a bad bet.
If that team starts playing good hockey and starts winning, then I think if that team starts winning a bit more, and I'm talking like not even like Thatcher Demko, like if the team starts playing good in front of him, he's definitely going to be a candidate this year. Like, he's unreal, and that's not even biased too. Like, so many people are like, he's on the map now for one of the top goalies in the league.
He's making, Sports Center top 10s. He should be.
Yeah.
Chase, you got a hot take award prediction or winner?
Back to the Calder. Michael Bunting.
Ooh. He's kind of just taking over that Hyman role, huh?
Yeah.
He's basically just doing that. Like that's basically what he's doing.
But yeah, essentially. And like he's playing in the top 6. Matthews and Marner haven't been playing well the first couple games, and I think he's still. How many points does he have right now?
I just saw it here. He has 6 points, same as Cole Sillinger.
In how many games?
He has played 13 games, 6 points in 13 games, half a point a game.
And that's with Marner, Matthews, Nylander, Tavares. They haven't been playing well. Is he on the first power? Is he on the power play?
I don't know.
I'm not totally sure. He might be.
I mean, throw him on the power play. You're guaranteed to get a handful of points with playing with those guys. So I would not be surprised if once those guys get rolling, if he starts racking in the points.
My award prediction, that's actually not a bad one. That'd probably be a good, dark horse bet. My prediction, Kyle Connor for the Rocket Richard.
Oh wow, I haven't heard that one before.
I told Scott at the beginning of the year that Kyle Connor is going to score 50 goals for the Jets this season because they need him to, because no one else on that team can really score.
I hope so. He's in my hockey pool. So
yeah, Kyle Connor will score 50 goals for the Jets this year. I still stand by that. He has, how many goals does he have right now? He has 8, same as Connor McDavid.
I think 50 is a reach.
That's why it's a hot take.
That's why he's gonna.
I know, but
I don't know. I think he's got 50 in him. I believe in Kyle Connor. He'll do it.
He's a very good player.
He is a very good player. All right, boys. Well, we should probably head out here. If you got anything you want to plug or anything you want to share, anything you want to promote, here you'll have the next minute. Floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Okay, I got one thing. Do you guys think it'll be the same 3 Norris candidates?
Hedman, Fox, Makar.
Yeah.
I mean, has Makar even played a game yet?
Oh, I don't even know. Has he been injured?
I think so. That could be part of the reason as to why Colorado isn't playing well.
What about Quinn Hughes? Are we not getting Quinn Hughes any love?
Quinn Hughes is pretty much a forward, so.
I mean, last year it wasn't like, most times it's like the most points, you score, basically you win the Norris, but like that didn't happen last year because Barry won Barry was the leading point scorer, but he didn't win the Norris. I'm gonna say that Quinn will get in. He'll get a nomination.
His defense looks a lot better.
I think he can maybe not this year win it, but he'll get nominated.
Yeah.
That I'll say that it's not going to be the same 3. How about that?
There we go. That's good. I'm glad to hear a non-Canucks fan say that too. It gives me some good.
Well, I think like my top, I don't know what, in no order, my favorite Canucks are Thatcher, Hoglander, and Hughes. I really like watching Hoglander play. That dude's got energy.
He's got a motor. He just goes.
He's got a motor.
Creative.
It's pretty good. He's pretty good. I like him. So, all right, boys. Anything else you want to share, promote, discuss, plug? No? All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do this. It's greatly appreciated. Jeremy, you keep rocking that Manners hat outside of the podcast. All right. Don't do that just because you're talking to me. Actually, it's not too late to join the bandwagon.
Oh, I'm on.
All right.
In the playoffs.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. Be sure to listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video on YouTube. You know the drill. We'll be back again soon. Peace out.